Yeah, I had a great time at Michigan. Obviously, being where my feet are right now at Mizzou, I've been able to learn a lot being here. Really getting developed by the great staff that we have here. A lot of offensive line help, a lot of great guys here. So, just kind of taking what I've learned and then taking it to the next step at Mizzou.
How do you feel like this transition in the first week here of fall camp has gone for you, kind of getting used to this system and the newness of it all?
Yeah, it's honestly been going great. I think as an offensive line, we spent a lot of time together getting in extra work throughout the summer, throughout the spring, really kind of leaning on each other because as an offensive line, you need, the five playing as one. Everyone needs to be on the same page. So building that brotherhood, that trust for each other, knowing that we're going to be there for each other, I think it just carried over into fall camp.
Coach Drink says you're one of the big leaders, one of the big voices on this team. He feels like, how do you go about that when you're coming in as a new guy and kind of taking on that leadership role right off the bat there?
Yeah, definitely. I think just kind of all the traits that were taught here from the weight staff, from Coach Drink, and taking that over into practicing and, kind of making that role as an offensive line. I think that one of what we talk about is, running the ball, stopping the run, and covering kicks. So I think as running the ball, offensive line needs to take charge and be able to lead the team.
Where does that leadership stem from? Has it always been part of your game, or has this been a new thing at Mizzou in the last couple of months? Where does that come from?
Yeah, I think just growing up, my father taught me, ways to lead. I was able to learn from him and my older brother that played football as well. So just learning from them growing up, work ethic, things like that has kind of transferred over through the years.
The coaches all talked about your versatility, and obviously you can play a number of different spots. Do you like moving around? Do you like kind of settling to make it easier day to day to settle into one?
Yeah, definitely. I think, I'll do whatever's best for the team at the end of the day. I do like being able to have that versatility. I think that just is more valuable, being able to play all three positions, center and both guards. So at the end of the day, I'll do whatever's best for the team. The best five will be out there, but I do like being able to have that versatility. The coaches can rely on that.
Have the coaches talked to you about potentially being a backup center if issues arise later on in the season?
I think the main message right now is just kind of be where I'm at, like whether it's center or guard for that day, practice as best as I can, and it'll work its way out, just whatever the best five is.
Coach Jones mentioned to me your relationship with Keegan. How did you guys kind of form that bond, and how has that translated to the field?
Yeah, we both came in at the same time in that portal window, and I think, kind of like I said, the offensive line hangs out a lot, like literally all the time. We're in the facility all the time together, and just being able to rely upon each other and that building that trust, like we said, being able to play right guard and right tackle next to him. I mean, he's a great player, has a lot of experience, so just kind of using each other to learn a little bit more about like what we see in the defenses, kind of relying on each other has been good so far.
And then having Connor in the fold next to you now, how's it been working alongside him?
Yeah, I mean, him as well, just tons of experience, really knowledgeable about the game. Just being able to learn as much as I can from him as well. Since I am a little bit newer to offensive line, just grabbing onto those guys since they have a lot of experience has been really beneficial, and he's a great player.
What stands out about Caden Green to you and kind of his work ethic and how he goes about things?
Yeah, I mean, Caden's one of the hardest workers I've been around. Honestly, just I know I'm saying it a lot, but the offensive line is just, we're all grinders. Like, everyone here is hungry, and obviously that's one of the team messages, something to prove. I think we all kind of carry that swagger with us. He's, a hard worker, holds people accountable, is a great leader, and does everything he can to put the best product out there, and we're all trying to win, so.
He's been the starting center for a while now, Connor, but what does he do well technically that you've seen as someone who's taken reps over there?
Yeah, I mean, the way he runs the outside zone, is able to reach the 2-eye. Like, I think he is the best in the country at doing that. I mean, there's no one that could do it like him, and just the way he kind of, leads the offensive line, tells you what he's seeing, kind of helps you out with what techniques, if you're feeling a little like questioning the way that you did something, you can kind of go to him, and with all of his experience, he kind of helps you out with that as well.
Dominick, how does being a former defensive lineman, how has that helped you as an offensive, now being in that position for a few years?
Yeah, I think that's been pretty beneficial. First off, for like playing offensive line with a defensive lineman mentality, being on the attack and not reacting, I think that's a big bonus for me. But also being able to look at a defense and kind of how schemes are ran, with having experience with that, is also another benefit.
And then there are a lot of great offensive linemen from the state of New Jersey. Were there any one of them that you looked up to when you were growing up in Freehold?
Honestly, I mean, Quentin Nelson was a guy from Red Bank, played at Red Bank Catholic, and obviously he's a beast. So just watching him growing up, I mean, he's a really good player. So
What's the
A lot
biggest
of
change
talent
from?
in Michigan. When you come here, SEC team, what do you think of the talent level here?
Oh yeah, we have tons of depth. I mean, playing the defense that we have here, we have guys at linebacker, ones, twos, threes. I mean, it doesn't make a difference. D line, we're just really all making each other better. I think the speed and the intensity and aggressiveness that we practice and play with, and the accountability that we hold each other to of the standard, I think is second to none.
What's the biggest change from going from the Big Ten to the SEC for you?
I think the SEC is just, every game is going to be a competitive game. Something that I've learned is, from guys that have experience playing in the SEC, every game, nothing's a given. And in football, nothing is a given ever. But just being able to go into every week, it's the most important week of the season. So